So you probably came to this video because you're trying to get consistent at god bridging, but whenever you jump, things go down south. So you just get a couple blocks and then you jump and you fall. So there are a couple tutorials on YouTube that I watched, and all of them had one thing in common that I didn't like. They all said that you had to time your jump based on where you were on the block. So they would be like, hit your spacebar when you're at this pixel of the block, or try to do it towards the end of the block. And that just, it doesn't work because it's hard to take a visual cue at that speed, because when you god bridge, you're bridging at a speed of about 240 beats per minute, which means you're placing 4 blocks per second, a little more precisely, but that means it takes you a quarter of a second to get from this side of the block to this side of the block. And when you introduce like, oh, do it about here, you're only going to be there for like 50 milliseconds, you know? So it's a very hard window of time to aim for, and it's just not consistent. So what really helped me get consistent with the jumping was try to time your spacebar based on when you drag click, because you have this perfect timer going on right here that you could use to predict when you're going to have to jump. What works best for me is hitting the spacebar a little bit before you drag click. So that's going to sound like this. Right, so you want to hit that spacebar a little bit before you're going to drag click. So that looks like this in practice. So yeah, what works best for me might not work best for you. You might have to hit the spacebar differently or at a different time than I do. I've heard things about like late jumps and early jumps where you place more than one block during each. For me, I just hit the spacebar where I think I'm supposed to hit the spacebar, and 9 out of 10 times now it works. So yeah, that's all I gotta say. Just keep practicing timing your spacebar with your drag clicks, and I think you should become much more consistent if you do that. But yeah, thanks for watching. I hope this helped. Goodbye.